Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Today, I am setting up my journal spread for the last week of November, the week of November 24th. Can you believe it, people? We are here at the end of November. Next week, we flip the switch, and for me, it means no more fall spreads. I'm going straight into the Christmas spreads. For you, it's maybe another tradition, or you might decide to do fall till the end of December, and that's fine too. I'm making that switch next week. So I thought it would be nice to do something different, and rather than do fall, do a different spread here. And I chose the Live in the Moment sticker book by Rongrong for this. I'm on vacation this particular week, so that also kind of works. Although I won't be living in the moment, I have my vacation highly scheduled at this point because what I find is that if I don't have a plan, it's much easier to fritter away the time. And yes, I have built in time to just rest, but I have big plans. So with that, let's get started. By the way, depending on when you watch this, not depending, I think the sale, the Rongrong Black Friday sale is going on all week. And I believe the sticker book is 50% off. Please don't quote me on that. I know some stuff is 50% off. It might be, it might not be. So, and it may have sold out. So let's take a look in here and see what we have um, in this book. Lots of girls. I thought I saw oh, here we go. I absolutely love this. I know it's sticker paper and whatnot. So it's a whole sheet. I'm not going to use the whole sheet. That's kind of silly, but I thought it would be cool to use it along the bottom, and so like basically here and up this way. So I am going to actually take out the whole sheet, and I'm not going to tear it. I know that's the purpose. You're supposed to tear these sheets, but for me, I just want to cut it, and I'm seeing that this page is not cooperating. Let's see. I see a line. Ah, there we go. I'm going to have to really, oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely not collaborating. So I'm going to take out this piece. So this is the top of the page, which is not part of the sticker. I don't want the sticker to come off the page because I'm going to cut it from the page. So I'm going to just turn this sideways like so. And I'm going to try to get my scissors in there and try to just cut it out. I know I have a craft knife somewhere. I don't want to get up to get it. I want to keep going here. The other thing I can do, let's see if ye old trick. I'm trying to break the spine of the book. My librarian colleagues would be horrified. But then try to do this sort of thing without breaking. Please don't break the sticker. Okay, there we go. Uh, I am not precious about my sticker books. I want to use my sticker books. I want to like try to finish my sticker books if I can. So if the spine breaks, so be it. All right, let me see because I think I just got this off. Nope, I didn't get it off camera. Okay, so I want this whole piece here. I want the whole girl, and I think I'm gonna go all the way to the top. Maybe we'll see. All right, so bear with me as I cut this. I am not cutting anything out of my videos. I don't edit my videos because frankly, I want you to know how long actually something takes. And you're gonna speed it up anyway, especially if you don't love to hear me speak at my normal at a not normal. Actually, this is not normal for me at all. At this slower speed, but at least you can see. Oh, it takes that long. And you know what? I needed to cut along. Oh, I needed to cut along the sticker and not um, leave an edge. But the reality is that I do need to leave an edge because it is not particularly easy to do this. Okay, so now I can do, I want a fussy cut, but not right now, is what I'm trying to say. And I think I'm going to cut all the way to the top here. All right, so now that I have that, I have to make a decision as to whether to leave the whole thing like so. And it's too bad that it doesn't stretch out far enough. Um, and I don't love that because it does take up a heck of a lot more room than I want to take up. So, because after all, this is my journal. So I think I'm going to cut right there I can use those windows somewhere else. And now I am really going to fussy cut around her, a little bit closer to her body, like so. And then I know you're supposed to move the paper, not the scissors, but it's a little bit easier this way. I'm going to move the paper now that I've moved the scissors. Scissors somewhere where they are comfortable to use. Because if the scissors are not comfortable to use, then guess what? Then no amount of technique is going to save you. So then, okay, so we fussy cut that so there's no extra paper of that piece there. And then I'm going to fussy cut here. Folks, this is how long it takes to do things. So bear with me. If you want, you can fast forward past all the fussy cutting. But you know, you're seeing the real here. So let's see. I'm trying to fussy cut. I mean, obviously you're gonna see the background, which is fine. But if I can have this be primarily this black design that's in the background, that's what I'd like to see rather than extra part of the paper kind of thing. Okay. And part of the reason why I'm going with a second journal next year is this, that I really do want to be able to decorate this one, you know, and not worry too much about the size of things, but still, you know, have enough room to write highlights. And that's how I've been using this, except I actually write complete sentences here. But I tried it with my CPC, with my entries for CPC. So to give you some context, I have a journal, like a bound journal that I use when I travel. So I only use it when I travel, and it's because rather than bring all the pages from my Franklin planner that I would have to fill in, I just bring that, and it's a 2-page spread. At some point, I'll show you one that's done. I don't think I've ever filmed one of those. It's a 2-page spread. On one side is for me to record all the things that I record in my various planners, and then the other side is the journaling page. And I can fill up that page very easily when I'm traveling. Not so easy when I'm like at home, but I do feel that most of the time I don't like, I want to say more. I want to write more in my daily entries, and there's not enough room for that. So that's why I'm going to start a bound journal for next year. And it's not going to be a traveling one, and it will never replace a traveling one. It's just a real journal for me to be able to write out things. And if I want to, I can definitely transfer things from my, sorry, I went off camera there for a sec. I can transfer things from my traveling journal, but I'm not going to feel compelled to do it because the big highlights end up in this one. And that's what I did for CPC. I journaled away in my travel journal, and then when I got home, I actually used bullet points on the 3 days that I was away, and then I entered the highlights. And by putting the highlights and not worrying about writing complete sentences, I actually got more on the page than I would have gotten had I journaled normally in here. And it's like a real memory of CPC there, in addition to in my journal. So I put the highlights, maybe not necessarily everything that went in the journal or things that were not in the journal, but the highlights made it to my page. So when I look at this at the end of the year and I say, okay, so what did I do this year? What exactly did I have fun? You know, I can look at CPC and say, yeah, that's right. At CPC, I did this, this, and this. My memory, folks, is not what it used to be. I used to have a much better memory, and I'm getting older. And I'm taking this off screen because I have some um, tiny fussy cutting to do right now. So my memory is not what it used to be. And so anything that I can use to jog my memory as to what I did and things like that. And it's so easy to get bogged down in the bad things and get bogged down in the, oh, my life is fairly ordinary because I don't really travel much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm speaking of me. I'm not speaking about anybody else. We don't travel. We're right now not traveling much. In fact, I went on a trip for an emergency this fall, and CPC was my other trip. We haven't been anywhere for 2 years. Actually, that's not true. We went to Chicago last year. I'm lying. Sorry that I lied. But mostly we're not traveling these days. We're keeping things very very close to home due to health issues and stuff like that. So, and that's fine. That's fine. But life is more than travel. Life is so much more than travel. It's the big things and the little things. And so my journal is where I want to capture those little things that will be forgotten because most of life is ordinary. And so there you have it, folks. That's why I use this particular journal. It's sort of like a little diarist kind of thing. And then the new journal will be more of like, when there's something big that I want to write about, I can write on it. I do intend to set it up for 12 months. And the way I'm going to set it up, I'm going to leave pages pretending that I'm going to write the same amount in each month. But then I am not setting up individual weeks or individual days necessarily. I will decorate 2-page spreads. And then however much I use is however much I use. So, yeah. So that is what the new diary is all going to be about. And you're seeing, I don't know if you're seeing my head or not, but I am just fussy cutting around this decoration. To be honest, what I could have done, actually, I don't have any stamps like that. If I had a stamp that has similar decor, I could have used a girl sticker and then stamped and stuff like that. But that's okay. Where else am I gonna use these ginormous papers? And I'm not ripping her in half. I like her, so almost there, folks. Look at that. Almost the fussy cutting is almost over. But got to tell you a lot about stuff. All right, so I think that works. That works for me. And then what I'm going to do here is, in recognition of the fact that this is basically not a sticker that's going to go all the way, I'm going to pretend that I cut that off and that was intentional. I cut off that corner intentionally, and not that is the sticker is that way, which is intentional, but not intentional by me. All right, so I just peeled off the backing. I'll get that piece out of the way. And now I'm going to place this on the corner as straight as I can, as cornery as I can, and then all the way to the top of the page, or to where it goes. I love that. I think that's perfect. I think it gives me enough room to write. I'll have to write a little bit smaller than usual. Okay, well, that happens. But anyway, I love that. I think that's perfect. I'm going to be busy this week doing stuff. And so, who wants to read in my journal about all the crap I did around the house? I don't. So, let's see. I don't use boxes, or rarely use boxes here, but I might. Why not? Today I will. I intend to make my own way in this world. There's some great stickers in here. I may have to pick up a second one of these. Ooh, whoa, she's sexy. Um, where's that Today I Will sticker? I kind of like that. My darling, you are poetry. Whoa. Today I will. Okay, she's definitely way sexier than I'm gonna be when I'm doing stuff this week. But we can be fanciful in this one since it's a vacation week. I'm gonna put a box here, and this will be for Monday. So we're putting it off a little bit. There we go. Today I will. Let's see what other deco we have here. I could use florals, but I kind of feel like those should go somewhere else. Live in the moment. That's the same girl. Darker hair. Make your life extraordinary. Let's see, what do we have? What did I miss? Oh, there's some small flowers too. I honestly have not looked at this more than once since I got it, and so it's kind of odd to be seeing it again and not knowing exactly what's in here. Um, All right, if we're going to continue with this black and white theme, I mean, notwithstanding the gray there, I think we need to use one of these corners. So let me get one of those corners off and use it here. It kind of complements the other corner kind of nicely. So, and it gives us some deco for the box. Pretty easy deco for the box. So we're going to deco that. And then what else? What else? Again, continuing on this theme of the columns and whatnot, I can and I will grab this. I want to redate anyway. And then I'm going to grab this one. I'm loving these columns and stuff. I think they're kind of neat. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to. And that's intentional. What I'm doing now is putting it a little bit higher because I really want to cover the whiteout that I used. And there I will cover the rest of that with a date sticker, with a redating sticker. I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. It's kind of like a stark kind of look, but I don't know. There's something about it that kind of speaks to me. All right, let's see what else we have here that we could use. I don't know if I want another girl necessarily, although I kind of love that there's a sticker that matches the paper here. There's also that floral, which could have been a good floral for that corner, which I'm realizing a little bit too late, but it could be a floral for here. And it kind of goes on theme. Do I dare? All right, I might dare. So I'm going to cut the words live in the moment. And I'll decide if I want to use some or not. I'm definitely not living in the moment this week. And I want to cut around the floral like so, because I'm going to attempt, and I'm sure it's not going to turn out well, but I'm going to attempt to not do anything, because guess what? I'm not going to do it. I was going to try to tear it and try to tear it artistically, but you know what? It's too small of a sticker for me to try that. And so I think if I just, I want it there, I want it here. I think that's where I want it. You can see I can't even cut a straight line, so go figure. All right. I'm gonna do a very rough fussy cut around this, meaning I'm not gonna try to like get it all the way down to the sticker, but I just want to remove some of that extra sticker paper that's gonna be in the way. Because the background is not, the background is actually kind of pretty, but I just kind of want it to look like a little bit more intentional and not like the flowers are on the background, but more like, even though they are, I don't know what I'm trying to say, just please ignore. Some days I try to figure out why I'm doing certain things and I can't figure them out. I just, it's what's calling to me at the time. Okay, so that called to me at the time, and that more of a straight line, we'll see when I cover this. Yeah, it's a much better straight line. All right, I like that much better. Okay, so let's peel that one off. I think we might be done decorating this, folks. I think it, the deco kind of dictated things as opposed to me dictating the deco, and I'm not mad at that at all. Oh, let's white that out. Whoops. We don't have to white it out because it's mostly covered, but okay. Yeah, I kind of like that there. I don't love it over the gray because then you see the rest of the gray, but it works. So I still have the chandelier kind of graphic, which actually is torn. See, you can see the tear here, like somebody, oh wait, the other way around. Chandelier is upside down. And this is what I mean, like artfully tear it so that you can see the white. Not a thing I do very well. So I'm gonna put these pieces back in here because I'll use them for something else. I'm gonna look at the spread one more time, and I feel like this is done in terms of deco. So let's now add our decorative dating. And for that, I have some of my Planner Kate dating stickers, and I'm going to go. There's no black ones, or at least I don't think there are. Let me see. I have another page of this. So let's see. There are no black ones. Okay, I wasn't lying to you. So I'm going to use the dark gray ones. I think the dark gray ones are pretty nice. So do that. And in here, I don't actually have to wipe these out because these kind of obliterate whatever is behind them. So, and I hope I still have numbers that go with this color. Tuesday. Let me get this off the screen. Wednesday. I like the elegant look of the the dating stickers. I will say it kind of makes the whole thing pop a little bit more. So plenty of room here to write. I think I will do highlights this week. Because I mean, how bad can things be or how good can things be exciting when, I'm just home doing things. I mean, maybe Thursday. And there's plenty of room to write about Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. But otherwise, meh. I don't really have to write a lot. Maybe I'll write about how I feel after I finish my projects. So one of my projects this week is to go through all my clothes and to weed out anything that I don't expect to be wearing anytime soon. Weed out things that are too big, too small. But I'm trying to get my clothing down to about half. Actually, I don't have. I shouldn't keep trying to give myself a number for this. I'll be quite honest with you, um, because um, it doesn't make sense. I think once I start, I will have a better sense. But my whole goal for this project is to get to the point where what I have is my casual wardrobe and my work wardrobe that work now, and eliminate things that I'm unlikely to wear. You know, I'm pretty much at the point where I know who I am and I have a style that I wear. And so basically make sure that what's in my closets really makes sense for my current style. And I don't plan to change styles again. Um, I don't plan to change jobs again anytime soon. In fact, I plan to this is my career. This is going to be my probably swan song job, or at least that's what I'm telling myself. Um, because I'm going to be 60 next year. So I hope to wrap up my career in my current place of business and in my position. I mean, could happen. I could get promoted, you know, but I don't think I would need to change my wardrobe too much if that happened. And I'm not seeking a promotion at all. In fact, I'd like to basically get us through if a renovation is going to happen in my lifetime, maybe go through a renovation. I have a big project next year that I'm working on. So, get through those things and then say, I retired and this was my impact in the place. And that's good enough. That's good enough for me. Um, Positive impact and whatnot. So let's take a peek. See, I think this one's done, folks. So this is once again my journaling spread for the last week of November, the week of November 24th. I used the Live in the Moment sticker book by Rongrong and some dating stickers by Planner Kate. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.